Hey everyone, it's Natalie again. And if you're watching this, you're probably wondering how in the world are people landing their first product marketing roles with no prior experience in this crazy job market? In this video, I'm giving it to you straight. I'm going to talk about the common trends I see in my clients that are landing their first PMM roles without prior experience. And this includes a client that I recently talked to on my channel who is a marketing generalist and a recent college grad. Okay, let's get into it. So reason number one is that these clients understand that ChatGPT can do a lot, but it can't do it all. Listen, I'm a big fan of ChatGPT and using generative AI to your advantage. In fact, I spend a lot of time in my current product marketing role leveraging ChatGPT to be faster and more effective in my day-to-day. However, the clients I've worked with who have landed their first product marketing roles, even without direct product marketing experience, understand this valuable lesson about ChatGPT. ChatGPT can do a lot for you, but it can't do everything for you as a product marketing candidate. For example, many of my clients have used ChatGPT to revise their resume or their LinkedIn. Some of them have even used it to ask mock interview questions. But here's the thing, is there's a big difference between using ChatGPT for interview prep and actually learning how to extract your personal experience, translate it into product marketing competencies. And here's the kicker, speak to that experience confidently. So here's your action item in terms of what you can do to land that product marketing role is stop believing that ChatGPT can solve all your problems and land you a PMM role on its own. You need to work with a product marketing interview coach to help you to not only extract your relevant experience into PMM core competencies, but also to help you gain the confidence to speak with conviction about that experience, which takes time and practice. Okay, so reason number two is they understand the hidden skills gap. Here's something I learned from my own transition from sales to product marketing. Companies are desperate for product marketers right now who understand the full customer journey, so not just the marketing funnel. Now, most traditional product marketers come from maybe brand marketing or content marketing, and they can create beautiful messaging, but they've never, one, handled pricing objections in real time, two, sat through discovery calls to understand actual pain points, three, been held accountable for revenue numbers. So the reason why I'm saying this is that if you're coming from sales, you understand customer psychology better than most PMMs ever will. And quick story, when I was in sales interviewing for product marketing roles, I talked about an experiment I ran with my sales automation tool called SalesLoft. I created vertical specific email cadences, so a number of emails in a flow that focused on case studies and results certain companies achieved from our solution. I then added relevant vertical context to the emails and tracked the results. I found that certain verticals, aka industries, would convert better. And I also found that certain messaging highlighting a specific challenge a customer in a certain industry faced also converted better. I shared this with the product marketing team at the time during one of their weekly meetings to help them use this information to further their success when they're doing their own work on messaging and positioning our solutions. Now, if you're coming from customer success, you're also a great fit for product marketing because you know what makes customers stick around, and that's retention marketing gold. If you're coming from solutions engineering, you can translate complex technical features into customer benefits. You're doing this all the time. That's literally product marketing. So your action item in this realm is just to start looking at your own experience, even if it's not in product marketing right now, as a competitive advantage. Your knowledge that you have right now positioned effectively can land you a product marketing role. So take a look at your resume and start to think through a product marketing lens, as I've said on my channel a million times, and start asking yourself questions like, how can I translate this project or this campaign into product marketing speak, aka core competencies in product marketing? Okay, so reason number three is that they're leveraging the fresh perspective advantage. So this might sound counterintuitive, but sometimes not having traditional PMM experience is actually an advantage for you as a candidate. And here's why. PMMs often get stuck in industry jargon and assumptions, and they create messaging that really sounds great to other marketers but confuses customers. And so, as an outsider right now to product marketing officially, you're asking the questions that experienced PMMs have stopped asking in a lot of cases. So I love talking about this example because my previous client who just landed her first PMM role after working with me for 2 months had this exact experience. So she was a marketing generalist or the sole marketer at a small tech startup. And although at first she struggled with looking at her experience as maybe too scrappy or too broad, we really worked together to frame it as an informal product marketing position. And she did incredible product launches using behavioral data to optimize the results and create content that would land with her buyers. She even updated the website copy to be more competitively differentiated, and that increased demo requests significantly. So what I loved about her experience is that she had this raw product marketing experience that she could speak clearly to and really paint that story without a bunch of unnecessary jargon. So if you're in this boat right now, here's your action item. Don't apologize for your lack of experience. Frame it as a fresh perspective. You bring an outside view that can challenge assumptions and create messaging that actually resonates with your customers. And in many saturated markets, hiring managers are looking for candidates who can try new things, break through the tired noise in their industry. Okay, reason number 4, they are master storytellers. Here's where most career changers fail. They can't tell their story in a way that makes hiring managers go, wow, I really need to hire this person. I need this person to solve this challenge. A not so great way of answering the question of why product marketing, for example, sounds like I want to transition into product marketing because I'm interested in marketing and strategy. A better way of answering the same question would be, after 4 years in customer success, I've seen firsthand how the right messaging can make or break customer adoption. I've been essentially doing product marketing without the title, creating customer case studies, developing use case messaging, and working with product teams to improve in-app messaging. And I want to formalize these skills and scale my impact through a product marketing role. So the formula is, 1, you're going to hook with a specific problem you've solved. Then you're going to show the business impact with numbers. Then you're going to connect it to the PMM role specifically. And finally, you're going to demonstrate that you understand their business. So the best way to answer that question is honestly to work with someone who truly understands product marketing. Now, shameless plug, a product marketing interview coach like myself to figure out your stories will really help you and enable you to practice how to tell them in the most impactful way. Reason number 5, they are targeting the right opportunities. I've talked about this a couple other times, but I want to emphasize this again. The next reason I'm seeing time and time again with clients who are landing PMM roles without experience is that they are not applying to every PMM role. They're being very strategic about where they apply. Now, this might be a hot take, but in my opinion, from the data I see in my program, the sweet spot for landing your first PMM role is with growing startups. Series A, Series B. Why? Because they usually are less rigid about traditional experience. They're needing someone who can wear multiple hats for better or for worse, and they value the hustle over credentials. Now, here are some red flags to avoid. I would avoid large enterprise companies with established PMM teams. I would avoid roles requiring specific industry experience if you don't have that. And companies with 20 plus huge marketing teams, in my opinion, I work at startups. It's just too much process. So I know maybe some of you have had that 1 in a million experience of landing a role at a FANG company without any prior experience. But in my PMM career and in my business, I have never seen that. So do yourself a favor and don't spin your wheels trying to break into a FANG company because you think it's cool or you want to tell your friends and family you work at that company, whatever reason you have. Focus on smaller organizations with hiring managers who are more likely, not always, but more likely to give someone with potential, someone who is hardworking, scrappy, and motivated a chance. All right, so reason number 6, they're acing the prove it moments. So here's the game changer. They're not just talking about what they can do, they're actually showing it. So instead of saying I can create competitive positioning, my clients that are actually landing their first product marketing roles with no experience are creating a one-page competitive analysis for the company they're interviewing with. So instead of saying understand customer messaging, my clients are also rewriting key email sequences or landing pages and showing the before and after. And again, instead of I am a product evangelist and I hosted webinars, they have recorded external webinars to showcase their live presentation skills. Now, I know I sound like a broken record, but I've said this many times on my channel. But in a world of faceless YouTube channels, faceless Reddit threads, anonymous everything, the ability to show up in person and speak confidently about your products and services is a huge way to land a PMM role in this competitive market. You will 1000% stand out. So having a built out holistic product marketing portfolio in your back pocket will accelerate your job hunt and get you closer to landing that PMM role. And if you're not sure where to start, you can also check out my video talking about product marketing portfolios here. Okay, so reason number 7, I think my clients are landing these PMM roles with no direct experience, is that they practice their stories. I know I sound again like a broken record, but I am going to continue to preach this over and over again on my channel. Once you know what stories, aka experience, to speak to, you need to practice with ideally someone who understands product marketing, and if not, a friend, a family member, a partner. So this is huge in terms of a trend I see in my clients who have landed these PMM roles. So they take the time to truly translate their experience into powerful stories of product marketing core competencies, and then they practice them over and over again. And I want to emphasize they do not practice on interviews. They practice their stories before game day, aka interviews, so they show up confident and ready to wow the hiring manager. So your action item in this area is to practice your interview questions for 1 to 2 hours per week after you've ironed out a few of those product marketing stories within your experience. But again, ideally, you do want to work with someone like an interview coach so they can help further refine your answers so it can land the most impactfully with the hiring manager. But if not, you can practice with whoever you feel comfortable with. Okay, reason number 8, they show up professionally and humbly. Okay, this one might shock you, but those that are landing product marketing roles with no prior experience also have this in common. They are showing up professionally and humbly. Here's what I mean by that. They're showing up on time, whether it's a Zoom interview or especially in person. They know that showing up on time signals that they are serious about the role and they respect others. Another trend I've seen with my clients that have landed PMM roles is that they are confident, but they're not arrogant. They speak about their qualifications and their experience confidently, but they also acknowledge the team and mentors that have helped them along the way. So you'll see differences in opinions on this because there is definitely a way to emphasize the work that you did solely as a product marketer or informal PMM, while also acknowledging the team's collective efforts and expertise that led to a great outcome. So your next action item is to always show up on time and be humble. Hiring managers can see arrogance a mile away, and no one wants to hire a jerk. So speak confidently about your qualifications, but also be mindful of using we statements and highlighting the exceptional work of the team. So here's the reality. Product marketing is changing. Companies need PMMs who understand, again, the full customer journey, can translate complex ideas into simple messages, and drive real, actual business results. If you're coming from sales, customer success, solutions engineering, or even another marketing function, you already have the skills that most traditional PMMs are still learning. So here's your homework. You can identify 3 business problems you've solved and translate that directly into PMM core competencies or outcomes. You're going to rewrite your LinkedIn headline using PMM language and then target 5 companies that fit that sweet spot criteria I mentioned. So I hope that you found this video helpful. And if you're serious about breaking into product marketing, check out the description in this video to learn more about my program. And that includes one-on-one interview coaching, resume editing, and portfolio review. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.